What makes a game memorable and great? Graphics, gameplay, or replayability? While these are important, it's the story that truly hooks you into a video game. In this video, I'll talk about 30 best story games of all time with some of the most compelling and unforgettable stories in gaming history. So let's look at the first game on my list.
For the competition, everybody in class.
Kate probably wouldn't laugh at me, but how can I ask her about what's going on?
Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 has one of the best stories I've ever experienced in an FPS. The relationship between the player's character and his Titan is fun to witness, with occasional dialogue choices that amplify their personalities. Titanfall 2's story mode often gets overlooked but deserves big props. Released when many shooters focused on multiplayer, Titanfall 2 offered a solid single-player adventure that dives deep into the Titanfall world. Spec Ops: The Line. As a third-person cover-based shooter, the game alternates between desert environments and crumbling urban ruins. You command two squad mates who follow orders well and don't constantly get in the way. Enemies are clever, using tactics to flesh you out and force you into danger. Set in a post-apocalyptic Dubai, you play as Captain Martin Walker, leading a Delta Force team to find Colonel John Conrad and his missing battalion. As Walker, you face moral dilemmas, question your mission, and confront the horrors of Conrad's actions and your own choices. Released 13 years ago, this game remains a masterpiece. Its solid gameplay and decent mechanics are overshadowed by its powerful story, which delves into the horrors of war in a way no other game does. The narrative is relentlessly depressing and incredibly well told, forcing you to make tough choices. Spec Ops left a lasting impact on me. It's a game that sticks with you long after you finish it.
The man had these words to say.
Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs might seem like a GTA clone at first glance, but it's so much more. The gameplay is incredibly fun, with a combat system similar to the Arkham formula but more flexible. You can button mash through fights, or pull off stylish moves if you prefer. While gunplay isn't the focus and isn't particularly impressive, it's still fun. This game shines in its melee combat and open-world exploration. Sleeping Dogs is well executed with a great story in an immersive world that replicates Hong Kong beautifully. Mafia 2. The developers did a great job recreating the time period, with cars, radios, and weapons handling and sounding authentic. The story and gunplay are well done, and if you're a fan of Mafia stories like The Godfather, Mafia 2 is worth a shot. The game offers plenty of action, an amazing story, and a fantastic 1940s and 1950s setting with a great soundtrack. The characters are even better than in Mafia 1, with excellent voice acting and memorable personalities. Mafia 2 shows the foundations of a quality game. The story and world building are fantastic, with elements from both Goodfellas and The Godfather. Mafia 2 is criminally underappreciated and easily the best game in the franchise.
We out to the feds.
Guy's got it coming to him now. But wait a minute. If he cooperated with the feds, that means he was under protection, right?
Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0 is one of my favorite games of all time. If you enjoy anime and crime dramas, this game is for you. The game offers a dense world filled with activities. Despite a small map, it's packed with things to do. With the Yakuza series hitting Game Pass, Sega is finally getting the recognition it deserves. The small map size is offset by the variety of activities available. Mafia Definitive Edition. Mafia Definitive Edition is an amazing game. It's a pretty linear experience divided into chapters that you can complete in under 10 hours. While it's not entirely open world since each mission starts automatically after the previous one, you still get to explore much of the world. There's also a free roam mode where you can explore the stunning city at your leisure. Although there aren't many activities or side missions to engage in, it offers a straightforward 8 to 10 hour linear experience that's well worth your time. Days Gone. Days Gone is like The Last of Us, but with a bigger world to explore. The story is long but well presented. I love post-apocalyptic games, and this one is unique with its biker gang theme. Some tailing missions can be boring, but the story is satisfying, blending the main character's search for his wife with the truth about the zombie virus. You'll feel like an absolute beast riding your bike through the open world. If you enjoy open-world games and zombie apocalypse settings, give Days Gone a try. A Plague Tale games, developed by Asobo Studio, deserve a spot on this list. Visually, the game is stunning, featuring vast landscapes, festive markets, and detailed middle-age architecture. The level designs are exceptional, and the soundtrack perfectly fits the atmosphere, ranging from haunting to emotional to festive. The voice acting is also incredible. The gameplay is unique and stealth-focused, given the protagonist's relatively fragile nature. The story is the strongest point of the game, comparable to The Last of Us Part 1. The relationship between the two main characters is a highlight, and the game feels realistic, relying on on stones, takedowns, slingshots, and environmental traps instead of guns and swords. Both Plague Tale games excel in storytelling, making them a must-play for anyone who enjoys a rich narrative and immersive world.
They're really big.
They won't hurt you.
What are those noises? Are they sick?
They're just clearing their noses. Come on, we have to go.
A Way Out is a 2018 action-adventure game developed by Hazelight Studios. It's a cooperative two-player adventure where you play as two inmates who become friends and plan an escape to find and kill their mutual enemy. The game offers an amazing experience, with the interactions between characters, their development, and the overall storyline being its standout features. The gameplay itself may not be phenomenal, but the narrative shines brightly. Throughout the game, you'll find random activities for two players, like playing darts, baseball, basketball, Connect 4, and more. These activities provide a break from the main storyline and help build the relationship between the characters, making their bond feel real and authentic. The story and dialogue are exceptionally well written, drawing you into the character's journey. If you haven't played A Way Out yet, it's an absolute must-play.
Someone's at the door!
Life is Strange. I love this game. It's a story-rich experience that will make even the coldest of hearts feel emotional. Don't Nod did an amazing job creating a beautiful and heartfelt game. Life is Strange is an episodic adventure game where your choices affect the outcome, making subtle or significant changes throughout. You feel empathy for the characters, and the game tackles mature themes like depression. It's similar to Telltale series games, but with its own unique flair. I've experienced nothing like it before. The soundtrack is gorgeous, with emotional and touching scenes that handle surprisingly heavy topics. The scenery is beautiful, making the game visually stunning. There isn't much ongoing action, but it's a highly story-focused game that's incredibly engaging. I highly recommend Life is Strange. It's a masterpiece that offers a unique and immersive experience.
Alright, Max. I have to focus on making sure this drone doesn't crash.
I'm almost sure Warren has the same bag. It looks a bit nerdy though.
Detroit Become Human. Detroit Become Human is an outstanding choice-based game. Every choice you make affects the story, leading to an astonishing 85 possible endings, giving the game immense replay value. Set in 2038 Detroit, androids have taken over most jobs, causing unrest among humans. Due to a software glitch, these androids gain free will and refuse to be slaves. You follow the stories of three main characters, each with their unique journey. From the moment you start, the game's attention to detail is evident, even greeting you with an android at the main menu. This non-linear game offers one of the richest experiences in the genre. The game is visually stunning, with excellent voice acting and an engaging storyline. The multiple endings and vast array of choices make every playthrough unique. Detroit Become Human is a thoughtful, inspiring, and occasionally terrifying game that will leave you with a range of emotions and existential questions. This game is a must-play. The well-paced story, interesting characters, and impactful decisions make it an unforgettable experience. It's truly one of the finest in its genre. What Remains of Edith Finch. What Remains of Edith Finch is a walking simulator and an emotional masterpiece that many haven't experienced yet. Despite its short length, the game offers an original and highly interactive experience full of small details. The storytelling is a masterclass, making it a must-play. You play as Edith Finch, exploring her childhood home with a key that unlocks its secrets. As Edith, you discover the poetic yet tragic deaths of her family members, narrated by the victims themselves. The game is beautiful yet disturbing, requiring you to act out how each family member died through their eyes. This game is more about exploring at your own pace rather than high-paced action. The game isn't just an average indie title, it's an unforgettable experience.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Firewatch. Firewatch is a unique walking simulator that keeps you hooked with its captivating story, lovable characters, and cool art style. Firewatch is a narrative-driven game set in the Wyoming forests. You play as Henry, a middle-aged man dealing with his wife's dementia who takes a job as a fire watcher. The game combines beautiful scenery, amazing sound design, an incredible score, and great character development. The warm and cozy color scheme, along with the beautiful forest setting, creates a relaxing atmosphere. In conclusion, Firewatch is a game I highly recommend. It's a wonderful experience that leaves a lasting impression, and I'd love to see more games like it. The Wolf Among Us. If you like mysteries, violent noir fiction, and detectives, The Wolf Among Us is for you. While it's a simple point-and-click detective game at its core, the visual design is stunning, with beautiful comic-style cel shading. The pacing, writing, atmosphere, and mythos are top-notch, and the characters are fascinating, each originating from various folklore. The Wolf Among Us tells a mature, gritty story set in a noir world where fairy tale characters secretly live among us. You play as Bigby Wolf, the Big Bad Wolf, solving a murder mystery that hints at a larger conspiracy. Fans of Detroit Become Human, Life is Strange, or the Telltale Walking Dead series will find this game a must-play. The captivating story and characters will leave you on a cliffhanger, eager for more.
Thanks. Couple thousand more of these, we'll be even on that house you owe me.
This has gotta stop. You can't keep sneaking off the farm like this.
The Quarry. The Quarry offers a solid experience, blending cinematic storytelling with player input. If you like the idea of a 10 to 15-hour interactive movie, this game is for you. The character models, voice acting, and writing create an atmosphere reminiscent of a well-crafted summer camp horror movie. Set in a summer camp, The Quarry features several teenage counselors as playable protagonists. Your objective is to stay alive, as many choices can lead to deaths. The story and choices are compelling, making you think carefully before deciding. The game also offers couch co-op and online co-op options, adding to its replay value. If you're a fan of the genre, The Quarry is worth a try. It's an awesome single-player game with an engaging story and impactful choices. The Last of Us. The Last of Us Part 1 proves that a game's story is paramount. Despite the improved graphics and visuals in the second part, players still talk about the original. The first game's story, particularly the touching relationship between the main characters, Joel and Ellie, overshadows other aspects. The evolving relationship between them adds depth to the journey. The gameplay and combat strike a perfect balance, offering a fair amount of action that adds realism. With multiple weapons and different ways to approach enemies, you can choose between stealth or going in guns blazing. The Last of Us is a masterpiece that showcases the importance of a compelling story in gaming. Marvel's Spider-Man. All three Spider-Man games are fantastic. Spider-Man 2018 rebooted the series on modern consoles, and while the story in the first part is arguably better, the second installment shines with improved graphics and the hype around Venom. Spider-Man 2 offers better gameplay, with enhanced mechanics and a more action-packed experience. The story, while more over the top, is packed with emotional moments and excellent character development for both heroes and villains. The side missions are also compelling, with Peter and Miles having gripping side story arcs. Graphically, Spider-Man 2 is a masterpiece. The city feels alive and bustling, with impressive ray tracing and detailed NPC activities. The combat is simplified but action-packed, with new abilities helping with crowd control. While some gadgets from the first game are missed, the streamlined approach works well. Overall, Spider-Man 2 is a must-play for fans of a series, offering a satisfying story and technical brilliance. Uncharted 4. This game perfectly captures the essence of adventure, depicting the challenges of treasure hunting. The graphics are stunning, and it's a fitting conclusion to Nathan Drake's journey. While I appreciate how Naughty Dog ended Nate's story, I hope the Uncharted series continues. The game takes you through diverse locations like islands, jungles, towns, and mansions, making you feel like a true adventurer searching for hidden treasures. The characters are well written, adding depth to the experience. Uncharted 4 is a masterpiece, in my opinion, the best in the series. The stunning locations and attention to detail make exploration a joy. The gameplay benefits from larger areas and multiple paths, with the grapple hook being a welcome addition. The story is thrilling and heartfelt, with realistic characters and clear motivations. The pacing balances exploring, climbing, and combat perfectly. The puzzles are simple but fun, and the epic set pieces feel like a great action-adventure film. The focus on character development over supernatural elements makes the story feel both realistic and extraordinary. From start to finish, Uncharted 4 is an absolute joy to play. I highly recommend it to anyone looking for an epic adventure. Until Dawn, it's still one of the best horror games of 2015. Unlike Resident Evil, it's a choice-based game where your decisions have immediate impacts. This makes it a flawed but fun experience. The story is a mix, but it keeps you on your toes because any character can die without warning. I enjoyed this game far more than I expected. It's very addictive, and once I started, I couldn't put it down until I finished my first playthrough. For a relatively early PS4 game, it looks great, especially the character models. The gameplay is light but fun, and the acting is solid. The game shines in its choice-based story progression, where your choices have real and immediate impacts. This element makes you empathize more with the characters. Until Dawn is one of the best horror games ever. I can play it and watch it multiple times, and it's always fun, entertaining, and still scary. I wish more games had this level of quality, length, and plot.
Damn it, Hannah. Where are you?
Red Dead Redemption 2. Everyone raves about RDR2, and it's easy to see why. This Rockstar gem is mind-blowing and stands as an all-time best story game. I usually don't get emotional during games, but RDR2 broke all the doors. By the end, you'll miss the characters and moments. It's a one-time experience where even a second playthrough won't capture the same magic. Riding with the gang provided some of my favorite memories. The game offers detailed content and stunning visuals. The absence of modern vehicles made traveling more fun and engaging, making you feel like a true Wild West beast. It's the best Rockstar game of all time. Witcher 3. It's simply my favorite game. The story is amazing, and every feature complements it, making the gaming experience intense. The number of side quests is insane, making you interact with NPCs and explore various areas. Unlike other games, Witcher 3 forces you to engage with its world, exploring every corner. The impact of Witcher on the entertainment industry is huge, evident from the books and live-action series. The Heart of Stone and Blood and Wine DLCs also deserve a lot of appreciation. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I love this game to bits. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, it's a fantastic adventure and combat game similar to Dark Souls. The storyline is fantastic and leaves room for further exploration, like a Disney Plus series about Cal's master. It shows you the path of the Jedi and helps you feel more connected to characters like Kenobi. This game has restored my faith in Star Wars games from EA. This game is a must-buy for any Star Wars fan. Overall, it's brilliant. A solid 10 out of 10. You'll really enjoy it. God of War Ragnarok. The expectations for God of War Ragnarok were sky-high, especially after the 2018 game became one of the greatest of all time. Yet, they elevated the series to new heights. The story, graphics, game mechanics, dialogues, character development, sound design, and music are all top-notch, making this the best God of War game ever. The developers added humor through clever dialogues, which is a delightful touch. I 100% recommend this game to every gamer. Even the side quests feel integral, enhancing character backgrounds brilliantly. From start to finish, this game is an emotional roller coaster thanks to the marvelous writing. It perfectly balances comedic scenes to make you smile. The pacing is well thought out, with moments of comedic relief and quick puzzles to let you process everything.
How were you ever a god of war?
Metro Exodus is one of the best narrative-driven shooters I've ever played. Departing from the linear style of 2033 and Last Light, it introduces Far Cry-like freedom with huge sandbox stages. Despite this, you never feel lost thanks to the clear goals throughout the game. The storyline and cast of characters are truly impressive. Initially, you feel helpless, but as you progress, you master the tools and adapt weapons for different situations, deciding between all-out gunfights or stealth. The varied missions, numerous modifications for weapons and gear, extensive exploration, brilliant story, superb voice cast, and great pacing make this one of the best games I've ever played. Each new installment in this series improves upon the last, and Metro Exodus is no exception. The character development is wonderful, with depth and meaningful interactions. Random conversations and moments on the train ride add to the immersive experience. I honestly cannot get enough of this series. As Dusk Falls. As Dusk Falls is a unique, interactive story game centered around choices. Your decisions heavily impact how each scene plays out, with even small choices sometimes having significant consequences. The game's main storyline offers plenty of player influence, making each playthrough feel personal. The story revolves around two families who cross paths on a fateful day in 1998. The first half of the game covers the events of that day, while the second half, set many years later, shows the long-term effects on those involved. The game excels in creating an emotional connection with the main characters and even some of the side characters. The graphics blend beautifully static drawn characters with 3D environments, creating a unique visual experience. The art style is distinctive, using a motion comic approach that combines stop motion and comic book elements. This, paired with incredible voice acting, makes the presentation stand out. Overall, As Dusk Falls is a game where your choices truly matter, offering a captivating and emotional experience.
Get rid of the cop. Hey there.
Evening.
Hey, Sam.
The Walking Dead Telltale. Telltale's The Walking Dead isn't just one game but a collection, spanning 4 main seasons and a couple of spin-offs. The series primarily focuses on young Clementine, who must navigate a zombie apocalypse, making tough decisions that impact her and those around her. While the gameplay is minimal, mostly involving walking, talking, and making timed choices, the narrative is deeply engaging. It feels more like an interactive story than a traditional game, similar to The Wolf Among Us. Despite the limited gameplay, it hooks you from the start with its compelling story and memorable characters. Some argue that your choices don't truly matter in the grand scheme, but they significantly shape how the story unfolds. Your decisions influence Clementine's relationships and how she is perceived. Whether she becomes a respected figure or a more controversial character is entirely up to you. Overall, the Walking Dead Telltale series offers a unique and emotional journey through the eyes of Clementine, making it a must-play for fans of narrative-driven games.
Say hi to your dad for me. Yeah. I'm sorry, Sean. Chet was a good dude. One of the best.
Even in 2024, 11 years after its initial release, Beyond Two Souls remains a must-play. This game keeps you glued to the screen from start to finish with its truly original story that combines elements of suspense, drama, and emotions. The game offers a great portrayal of the main character and her struggles. The story is suspenseful and keeps the player curious about what will happen next. With many possible endings and beautiful touching music, the game ensures that not all choices are obvious. You have to be careful not to miss something important or prevent someone from dying. Overall, Beyond Two Souls is one of the best story-driven games out there, offering a captivating and emotional experience. Guardians of the Galaxy. Unlike many superhero games that prefer open-world gameplay, Guardians of the Galaxy is a refreshing level-based adventure. You play as Star-Lord and control other Guardians too, immersing yourself in the quirky Marvel Comics universe with all its foolish but enchanting cosmic aspects. This fun third-person shooter takes you through different planets, introducing you to various strange happenings. Beneath all the action is a strong storyline. While it shares some similarities with James Gunn's films, the game dives deeper into character development, explaining their personalities and relationships in meaningful ways. With engaging boss battles and a fulfilling climax, Guardians of the Galaxy exceeds expectations. If you were hesitant about this game when it was announced, don't underestimate it. Give it a try to see how awesome it truly is.
Because, unlike you, I have a very keen sense of direction.
Quantum Break. Quantum Break, released in 2016, is a highly underrated gem with stunning graphics that still impress today. The time manipulation scenes alone are breathtaking. It's surprising that this game didn't make a bigger splash upon its release. Remedy crafted an engaging time travel story with tragic characters, unexpected twists, and a narrative that kept me hooked. The gameplay is simple yet immensely satisfying, making you feel like you're in a movie. The accompanying TV show is surprisingly well done and well acted, although the integration of TV episodes between levels was a bit unconventional. On the downside, the game suffers from a lack of enemy variety and pacing issues. But still, Quantum Break is a solid game filled with passion and polish, unlike much of the games-as-service content we see today. It tried something unique by blending a TV show with the game, and while not perfect, it deserves credit for the effort.
Smell one of your long-winded presentations on the horizon.
I would never.
Cyberpunk 2077 needs no introduction when it comes to graphics. Initially, it had the potential to be a next-gen game but fell flat at release due to numerous bugs and glitches. However, by 2024, almost all of these issues have been fixed, and the game now shines in terms of quality, though it still lacks some physics and detail. Many players, including myself, dropped the game when it first came out due to high expectations and disappointing performance. But now is a great time to revisit and complete the game if you haven't already. If you're into sci-fi and missed out initially, Cyberpunk 2077 is worth giving another shot. Here's hoping for an even better sci-fi game in the future. Telltale Jurassic Park. Telltale released a Jurassic Park game back in 2011, and while it's not their most famous title, it definitely exceeded my expectations. This game is essentially an interactive movie with minimal gameplay, mostly involving quick-time events that aren't particularly great. However, the story, characters, and plot are engaging and worth experiencing. The game would have been even better if it allowed more control over characters and interaction with the environment. Unfortunately, Telltale went bankrupt, and many of their games, including Jurassic Park, have been removed from Steam. Finding a legitimate way to purchase it can be challenging, with third-party sites being one of the few options left. Despite its flaws and current availability issues, Telltale's Jurassic Park is a hidden gem worth trying if you get the chance.